Hello Panda Fam, we are at Anime Revo once again. I went in 2024 and this video is from 2025. And if you're wondering why it took so long for me to make this video, it's because I went to hell and back to make this freaking video. And by the way, I love making videos for you guys. But my backpack exploded before I got there, my backpack exploded while I was there, my external hard drive completely stopped working, I lost all my files for this video, and I had to pay $300 to recover them. So I really hope you like this freaking video. It is currently 10 o'clock, I just made it to Anime Revo. I was supposed to be here a lot earlier, I actually woke up at the ass crack of dawn, but then my fucking backpack exploded. So yeah, so hopefully this goes well for me. This is a pain in the ass, for real. Last year I made a video about my honest opinion about Anime Revo. And this year I want to go a little bit deeper and show you all the things there are to do and see at Anime Revo. If you know Anime Revo, you know that's an impossible task because a lot of the events actually overlap. I'm going to show you a lot of art, a lot of sexy stuff, a lot of fun stuff, a lot of playful stuff, and of course a lot of cosplay. Now let's not mess around, let's jump right into it and talk about the important stuff. Like how the cosplay at Anime Revo is absolutely amazing. Anime Revo attracts cosplayers from all over the world. From newbie cosplayers to veteran cosplayers, you'll find them all here. And of course, if you're thinking about cosplaying, I highly encourage you to. And if you're scared or embarrassed that perhaps your cosplay is not going to be good enough, I can tell you it doesn't really matter because everybody is in a different part of their cosplay journey. And Anime Revo is a great place to learn and to make like-minded friends. Whether it's about the makeup, the wigs, the cosplay armor, the clothing, the sewing, there is somebody there to teach you and help you out. And now if you are like myself and not a cosplayer, you're more of a photographer, videographer, someone who just wants to take photos of these individuals. I said it in my last year's video and I'll say it again, be respectful. These cosplayers are not mascots at a sports game or a Disney princess at Disneyland, which are also people you should respect by the way. These cosplayers are just like you and I, they are paying customers, they just chose to dress up. If you want to take pictures of them or with them, please ask first. If there are poses that you want to do with them that requires close proximity, touching, please ask first. And unlike mascots, the cosplays are often really delicate. They can be really easy to break. And on top of that, these cosplayers spend a lot of time on them. So you definitely want to be careful with what they made. And I do want to include that this is a family-friendly event, which means there are a lot of minors. So keep that in mind, act respectfully and accordingly. Now one of the best parts of seeing all these cosplayers is that eventually you'll probably run into a character that you've seen before, that you love, that you like, that you probably hate. But more often, you're more likely to run into cosplays you just don't know. But it doesn't really matter because there's always something to enjoy about these cosplays. For example, Ratatouille, not an anime but one of my favorite movies ever. Another great example is these two ladies that always come in a two-person Lego suit. And it's wildly impressive. And yes, a lot of these cosplayers are absolutely gorgeous, so you can't help but feel like you are kind of at Disneyland. And if you ask, a lot of these cosplayers have special moves, poses, phrases that they've learned, so they really embody the character that they're trying to cosplay. And let me tell you, a lot of these guys are freaking amazing at it. And like they say, the best part is the friends you make along the way. And boy did I make a few friends. And honestly, if you have an open and friendly attitude, there will always be friends to be made. And a big shout out to my friend Miho, who's super nice and super pretty. And another big shout out to my friends from Kamloops. So yes, the friends you make will be from all over the place, from Seattle, Toronto, Kamloops. I mean, you probably won't find anyone from the UK because it's not that big an event. But honestly, you never know. And of course, a big shout out to my friends that I've met last year, who always make me feel super comfortable at the Revo. And you may not want to explore Anime Revo by yourself. It's a lot to take in, especially if you're an introvert. And perhaps if you have some friends that like anime, you can coerce them to come along. And make them watch this video because I really need the views. Now of course, seeing cosplay at Anime Revo is really normal, really obvious. But what are some other things we can do? Well, if you like anime, you like cosplay, you like anime music. Not only do they have a dance, they have their own freaking rave. Complete with their own DJ, bright lights, and a lot of unts. Now to be honest, I don't actually listen to that much anime music. And to be fair, these days I don't even have that much time to watch anime at all. But it didn't really matter, because it was just a lot of fun being around all these people having a lot of fun. It was a great atmosphere, the music was pretty decent, and when the right song hit, the room would just pop off. Now I do really want to show you what the music sounds like, but I feel like there's going to be a really bad copyright issue if I do. So I'm just going to try to sneak in a little clip and hopefully I don't get in trouble. And if you notice in this video that it doesn't exist, well, I probably had to crop it out. Wish me luck, Panda Fam, I'm doing this for you guys. Scratch that, I got copyrighted like crazy. Now something else that's really cool is a dance circle will form. Apparently this happens like every freaking year. Some people can dance, most people can't. But you know what, it doesn't matter because we're all just here to vibe. I do have to say, after a little while the dance circle got a little out of hand. Because for some reason all of them started putting people on their shoulders. And I was really afraid someone was gonna die. Now look, I'm trained to be a first responder, but I really don't want to do CPR on a stranger. Especially on my day off. Because bro, CPR isn't free, you gotta pay for that shit. Now all jokes aside, this event was actually really fun. Of course it's a lot nerdier and a lot more civil than a normal rave. And there's no alcohol and I assume there's no drugs. So it's kind of like a baby rave. So even if you've never been to a normal rave before, this is tolerable. The only downside that I really want to point out is some people there, because they spent all day outside in the summer, kind of smelled like BO. And the other thing is, don't leave your girlfriend alone at any point, because she will get hit on. But that's a story for another time. Now this next one requires a trigger warning. It's a little weird, it's a little odd, and it's definitely not for everybody. Honestly, I'm a little weird, a little odd, and I still found this a little weird and a little odd. When you go to Anime Revo, aside from partying and making friends, you can also learn things. This one in particular is about graphic anime. It has another name starting with an H, but I can't say it without YouTube messing with my video. Now yes, graphic videos are a really funny topic, and it is often really taboo since it has graphic adult content. But this panel made it really fun and, to the best of their ability, really comfortable, while teaching the history of graphic anime. Now most people think graphic anime is perverted, or hardcore, or kinda scary, or weird, or taboo, and sometimes it is. But this panel shows the story behind certain graphic animes, and the humor, and the comedy, and how cute and funny it can be. I think the panel does a really good job at showing that this is an art form, and not just adult content. And to be fair, it is still very weird. And when I say weird, it goes from Cyclops girls with big breasts, to people touching themselves in the library, to this old guy's genitals turning into a rocket and then diving back into the atmosphere into the lady. Very weird stuff. Things that are so comically weird that you can't even really explain them to strangers. Like I can't really explain them to you now. And one of the highlights is that one of the panel members laughed so hard he fell backwards on his chair and I cracked up too. And the most interesting experience of all is that I did all of this with my girlfriend and my cousin. And honestly, I didn't know how to look my cousin in the eye after because it was a little awkward and strange. Now next up is probably one of my favorite events at Anime Revo. I filmed it last year and I had to go again this year. I've been 2 years straight now, and every year this event is packed to the brim. And if you want to get a good seat for this event, you generally have to line up for like around an hour to 45 minutes. And I know that sounds like a really long time, but I guarantee that this event actually is worth it. It's lots of fun. And of course I'm talking about the oh so sexy, oh so fabulous, the one and only Anime Revo swimsuit contest. Last year I called it the bikini contest, but I did get corrected by one of the people that participated. It is the swimsuit contest. And just a heads up, if you want to go, this event is adults only I believe, so please leave the kids behind. And this is one of their after hours events, so it happens later in the night. Now if you've never been to the swimsuit contest has drama, singing, lip syncing, dancing, little bit of booty popping, and some storytelling. It's a lot of fun, a lot of shenanigans, and a lot of really talented individuals. And of course, everyone is in cosplay. The cosplays will have varying levels of revealingness and playfulness. One of the best parts about this event is that the crowds are really supportive, respectful, and high energy. And I want to add that I actually have a lot of admiration for the performers as well. Aside from doing cosplay, you have to have the confidence to strut your stuff. Be funny, be playful, and so comfortable in your own damn skin. As a person that doesn't exactly have the highest self-esteem and has terrible stage fright, this is really cool to me, to be able to watch people perform and do their stuff. And you might be thinking to yourself, oh, it's all just beautiful women on the stage. Of course you want to go. I mean, it is one of the reasons, but nay, there are plenty of guys that also participate. And so yes, there are also beautiful hunky men, full of glistening muscles if that's what you like. And that's actually why this event is so good. It's inclusive, it allows for everyone to show up and have fun, there's something for everyone to enjoy. And best of all, these events are included in the price of the ticket for Anime Revo. And that being said, there are some events that cost extra on top of the tickets, and I haven't featured any of those in this video. So everything that you see in this video will just come with the tickets that you buy. That being said, I actually don't like paying for the extra stuff, it's just not for me. The tickets are kind of pricey enough as it is, and I don't want to be spending more, unless I really like that event. Now, aside from the first performance from the girl in the red, which was absolutely amazing, this was my favorite. I grew up playing Final Fantasy, I grew up loving Final Fantasy, I would memorize the songs by heart, play it on the piano, that's how much I loved it. And so when I saw a sexy schmexy Sephiroth that's female, I went insane. I was screaming my head off. And so a big props to this amazing girl that did such an amazing job. From the dance to the cosplay, I loved it all. Okay, let's go back to something more family friendly. Maybe an event that even the kiddies can attend. And yes, this is another event that takes about 30 to 45 minutes wait outside just to get a decent spot. And of course, I'm talking about the Anime Revo Idols contest. Now this is another part of the weeb culture that I really haven't gotten to know. Now these idols are mostly from around BC and Lower Mainland, but to be honest, I'm not sure how everyone knows them. Like, is there a newsletter that goes around? Because many of these groups seem to have a huge fan base, and it was really impressive. And quite a few of the groups were really skilled and exceptional dancers. They all had different themes, styles, and costumes. And I assumed that this category of performance would be group performances only, but there were actually a couple of competitors that performed solo. And on the other hand, the other side of the extreme, there are groups that just had so many people in it. Some of them felt like they had more than 10 people, and the coordination and practice for these groups must have been crazy. And I gotta say, these darker themed idols were more my thing. Honestly, I just vibe with their music better, I like their dance moves, I like the colors, I like their atmosphere. That's just my thing. But that being said, are you gonna like all the performances? And let me tell you, there were quite a few performances. The answer is probably no, you probably won't like all of them. With all the different variations, with all the different music and styles, and all the different skill levels, I'm sure you'll find something that you'll like. And honestly, I don't think it was really my thing. I don't know if that's something I'll be attending every year, but I still encourage you guys to see it, try it, see if you like it. Because supporting local talent is really important, and I encourage you guys all to do it. Now, speaking of very talented individuals, I attended something very special at Anime Revo. Honestly, you could probably say it's somewhat of a historic moment. Because for the very first time, Anime Revo had their own drag show, complete with their very own queens of anime. Unlike other events, this is their first year, and so it makes sense they were put in a smaller panel room. But I think these queens are deserving of a bigger stage. I'm sure they were just testing it out this year, but the honest truth is, the room was packed. The line for the event was long, and the people were hyped. And most of all, the queens were beautiful. And I think given the opportunity to grow, the drag show could be one of Anime Revo's large events, hosted in one of the larger event halls. These queens were genuinely some of the best performers I saw in the entirety of Anime Revo. They were crazy athletic, offered amazing energy, and they were wildly engaging with the crowd. No disrespect to any performers at Anime Revo, but the queens were just awesome. And not only do they interact with you, you could also pull out money and tip them, which makes it so much more fun. Unfortunately, I'm way too poor for that, but I watch other people do it. And I guess it might be a theme, because this absolute Amazon in red is my favorite queen of the night. I mean, she was sexy, pretty, athletic, she was the whole shebang. And honestly, I feel like the crowd felt exactly the same way. Just imagine what a bigger stage, more lights, and better audio system will do for these girls. Hello, we just made it to day 2 of Anime Revo. We are super excited. I have special guest Carolina with me. Yeah.
Yes.
Are you excited?
Yes.
Excited. The second day we showed up at the ass crack of dawn. And even then, the lineup was freaking crazy. I don't know if you've noticed yet, but lineups are a very common thing at Anime Revo. But even at the Revo, this is perhaps one of the biggest lines, but also one of the most efficient lines. Because if you know Anime Revo, then you know this giant line is for the freaking marketplace. And this marketplace is very special because you can buy almost anything that's anime related. One of the best parts of the market is the clothing. You can find a lot of local designers, a lot of designers from around BC, and a lot of American designers as well. That being said, a lot of these pieces can be a little bit expensive, and so you have to be careful with your wallet here. And a lot of the items look really cute, really cool, really desirable. Which makes the marketplace one of the most dangerous places in Anime Revo. I'm on a mission to get a bucket hat. They have bucket hats. Now, I really did want a bucket hat, but my big ass head just didn't fit any of it. And of course, I was a little sad, but there's all sorts of other stuff to look at. Like tote bags and mouse pads and all sorts of other stuff. And there's a lot of trinkets and thingamabobs. And honestly, I do want to buy a lot of stuff, but my house is really small, so I have to be really careful with what I pick. But I mean, if you have a giant house, you're a collector, you love buying stuff, please go crazy. Support your local artists. Now, even if you've been to the marketplace before, it's always worth checking out again because there's always new stuff. Like for example, this year there was hot sauce and coffee beans, which really surprised me. Because generally speaking, there's not a lot of food products in the market. And in the marketplace, you'll often see a lot of cosplayers too, so that's pretty cool as well. And of course, you can probably take photos with them if you ask them, but you probably have to pull them aside. Because the honest truth is, the market is freaking busy and it's super crowded. At peak hours, it's hard to even walk through the aisles, let alone take pictures. And for our sweaty gamers, there's a little haven just for you. Of course, there's the classic claw machine that will absolutely steal your money because you suck at the game. But on top of that, this year, there is a bunch of arcade games. A lot of them are rhythm-based, music-based games, but there are some other games sprinkled in between, like freaking Time Crisis, one of the OGs of the arcade shooter games. Now, if you're not a fan of games, that's okay, because there's also performances at the market, which I didn't know about. In fact, some of my friends performed, and I had no idea, and I absolutely missed it, so my apologies. And one of the biggest parts of Anime Revo market is the art. you'll find a lot of local artists at Artist Alley, and international artists also come here as well. In the Artist Alley, there's often younger, newer artists that are just starting out their journey in either producing art or selling merchandise. In the rest of the market, you'll often find artists that have been around a bit longer and have the revenue to host a larger stall for themselves. The Artist Alley in particular is a really small aisle in the back of the market that often features amazing arts and crafts, but are generally much smaller stalls. My assumption is that these smaller stalls come at a slightly more affordable price, so that smaller creators can also put their art on display to a larger demographic. However, I always do wonder if these smaller creators actually make any money here, or is it mostly for the sake of exposure and advertisement? But either way, I wish these artists much success, because many of these make such amazing creations. And I totally understand that not everybody has the money to buy art and trinkets like this for themselves, and I totally understand that this art may not even be for everyone. However, if you do like something, even if you're not gonna buy it, I do encourage you guys to take photos, post it to your stories on your TikTok or Instagram, and tag the creators. I mean, obviously ask for permission first, but as Vancouverites, as people who love anime and the arts, I think we should aspire to spread the love a little. Don't you guys think so too? Aside from the art, you can also buy props here. And some of these props are so incredibly detailed. We're not just talking about anime props, but we're also talking about comic books, we're talking about King Arthur and the Excalibur, we're talking about Jinx's pistol from Arcane, we're talking about Naruto and general ninja style weapons. And they're amazing looking props. Most of all, they let you touch some of them so you can pose and take pictures. Pretty freaking neat. One of the stalls actually had the cult from Supernatural, which blew my freaking socks off. I don't know if you know this, but I freaking love Supernatural. It's one of the best series ever. And while I personally don't buy them, some of the stalls actually had real sharpened blades, which you have to be super duper careful with. I honestly don't know who's out here buying real blades, because they're metal and heavy and you have to carry that shit around all freaking day long. That is absolutely not for me. And one last thing before we go. Since we're talking about dangerous things, let's talk about something that is dangerously spicy. And of course, this is the topic of bobas in the marketplace. And I know a lot of you have studied bobas at an academic level. And props to you, my friend. Now, if you like bobas, this is bobas galore. This is boba heaven. All sorts of characters in all sorts of positions, on all sorts of products. And if you're not into this, well, watch this anyway, because I need the watch hours. And, well, just take it as a cross-cultural learning opportunity. Now, there are a surprising amount of different boba products. Initially, I didn't know you could make so many things that featured bobas, but here we are. From posters to stickers to mouse pads, desk covers to books to postcards, and just pictures. And by the way, in the sweet name of baby Jesus, who are you sending these kind of postcards to? That is absolutely insane. And if you're not really a boob guy, you're more of a butt guy, trust me, they got you. Anime Revo is an inclusive space, so here you go. Here are some bootios for you too. Now, I'm not sure if this is a poster or a bed sheet or whatever. It's got built-in bobas and butt cheeks as well. Now, I didn't know the market had a demand for these kind of things, but you know what? If you're making money, good for you. And I don't really think my girlfriend really knew how to react to these things, but you know what? It's all fun and games, right? Right? This isn't weird. Please feel free to reassure me in the comments below. And if this isn't enough for you, let's go one level up. Because this stuff is so spicy, they had to keep it behind closed curtains. And honestly, it's kind of more the same thing. More graphic novels, more revealing stuff, more spicy stuff, slightly more erotic. And honestly, I didn't know they were going to have this because the market is for all ages. But I digress. I actually do have more footage of this, but I don't want to spend all my time censoring it. Also, if I just show you, YouTube's going to copyright and censor me, and I don't want to do that. And in conclusion, Anime Revo is a lot of fun. There are actually way more events than this. I couldn't cover them all. I don't think anyone can, but I tried my best. And in the details below, I'm going to try my best to tag all the cosplayers I shot with. Some of my files did get corrupted, so I don't have the original list that I made. However, I did ask everyone for their consent prior to filming them. So if you see yourself or someone else in the video that you think needs credit, please let me know. I'd love to share your page because I appreciate all the vendors, cosplayers, and performers. And once again, thank you Panda Fam for tuning in. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. If you like the event, the video, or even if there are things you didn't like, please put it in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it. And once again, thank you Panda Fam. Let's explore again soon.